This is the outside of the Swift Bolero 630 PR. As I move along, I will firstly come to the cassette toilet. To remove the cassette, just lift up on the lever and pull towards you. Before use, remove the cap and add your toilet chemical with a small amount of water. This is also where it empties from. Just remember that when you are pouring it away, to hold the button in here to release the vacuum inside. It's also advisable to keep this seal lubricated. Thetford do their own seal lubricant, but any silicone based lubricant is fine. And by turning this part here, allows access inside the cassette for additional cleaning. Next we have the fresh water tank fill. As you can see, the cap can be locked. Just push in, twist to remove, and then just pop a hose pipe in to fill up the fresh tank. Both vents for the fridge, try to avoid obstructing them and spraying too much water at them when washing the motorhome. And then we have mains hookup just here. Just remember, as you remove the hookup, just push down on this blue lever as well to allow it to release. Flue for the Truma boiler. Again, avoid obstruction. Spare wheel just here. In the jack and wheel brace kit, there's a bar that goes in where my finger is here, and then it winds down using the wheel brace. We then have the tow bar, and then above that the Fiamma bike rack. To use this, just pull the rails down and then pop the bikes onto the rails and then attach through the wheels. And as you can see, these do move about depending on the size of the bike, and then just attach each arm to each bike. Reverse camera just up here. And now as I come around the other side, we have access at this point here underneath the rear bench seats. You can see leisure battery just here, and then we have the other leisure battery just here. The main 40 amp fuse off the batteries, and you can also see the battery charger just there. Beneath that we have the grey water drain, so anything that goes down the plug holes goes into the holding tank and then is drained off at this point here. Currently it's open, now closed. Gas locker just here, and there is room in this gas locker for 2 gas bottles. The regulator just sits here, and then the hose comes off the regulator and then screws into the propane bottle and is tightened with a gas spanner. Bottle on and off on the top. Do make sure that the bottle is isolated for travel. We then have an extra Fiamma security lock, and as you can see, it just comes around like so, and then just lock it. Fiamma roll-out canopy just up here, and to wind it out, take the winding handle and then just hook it in at this point here, and then just begin to wind the canopy out. As you can now see, I've wound the canopy out a short distance. I always prefer to do this and then drop the legs to give the canopy some support and to not put too much stress on the side of the motorhome. The legs themselves just sit in here. So if I now just grab hold, then as you can see it articulates just here, and then just drop down, undo, and then just drop the leg to the ground and get the canopy at the height I require, and then just lock into place. And then if I do exactly the same again with the other leg, and again now just drop down and lock into place, you will now see that the canopy is supported, and I can then continue to wind it out, walking the legs out as I go. As you can now see, the canopy is fully wound out. Never use in high winds, as it does run the risk of being flipped over the roof of the motorhome. And if you put it away wet, always try to get it out and dried as quickly as possible. When it comes to putting the canopy away, wind it back in, walking the legs as you go to the point where we drop them, and then just pop the legs back in, and then continue to wind until it will not wind any further. When putting the legs away, just make sure that when you do slide the leg back in, that they do clip underneath these parts just here. This will then stop the legs from falling out when you wind the canopy either in or out. Diesel fill just here, and the cap unlocks on the ignition key. Tyre pressures on the door pillar just here, and then you will find the jack and wheel brace kit all underneath the passenger seat just here. Vehicle battery just underneath the floor here, and the bonnet release just here.